Captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
Dum, 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 dum. Hey, before we get started in the show, man, I got three things I want to say. Two of them, happy birthday shout outs, birthday wishes. If you're a fan of the show or watch the show, I shout out my peoples, man, on their birthday, on the day they were born. Celebrate life. Life was created to be celebrated, believe it or not. A lot of stress, a lot of a day-to-day BS, but life was created to be celebrated. So shout out to my dog, one of my favorite peoples, Ludi. What's the damn deal? Also, shout out to Lil Wayne, Tunchi, Weezy F baby, the damn greatest, whatever you want to call him. Your favorite rapper, my favorite rapper, Weezy F baby. Happy birthday. He said 9/27/82. I'm an 80s baby. Shout out to those two people. Also, on a grayer tone, grayer note, Brooks Brooks Robinson. Brooks Robinson. One of my favorite players of all time. Not that I got to see him play, but I was a third baseman who was enamored by third baseman. I always dug through the history to see the great third baseman. Always felt somewhat connected to the legacies of third basemen like Brooks Robinson. He passed away yesterday, 96 years old. Lived a full life full of 16 gold gloves accumulated during his playing career with the Orioles, baby. And I know it's cheesy. I know it's lame, maybe. But man, Baltimore Orioles about to go into these playoffs with a legend. Freshly into the new realm, looking back, looking down. Gives them a little extra boost, if you ask me, if you know anything about the supernatural. People leave when you need them most, so they can help you from the other side. But yeah, man, all but one of the divisions in Major League Baseball has been won, claimed. I guess all but two. Baltimore is still fighting with the damn Rays, who won't let them go. Excuse me. Still 2.5 game lead right there between the Orioles and the Rays. Talked about the Twins winning the Central of the American League the other day. AL West got a little spicier last night with the Mariners getting the win over the Astros and the Rangers also losing. I'll definitely dive into that. And then down in the National League to join the Dodgers, the Phillies clinch a wild card spot, officially going to the playoffs, baby. Winners of 6 in a row, 8-2 over their last 10. The Phillies are hot when they need it most. Now, this one is a little humorous to me, if you will. The Milwaukee Brewers clinched last night. Not because of anything they did. And I know it happens. Happens a lot in baseball. You just look up and, oh, well, I guess we clinched. The Cubbies lost last night, which takes them out of contention for the division. Now, they're still alive in the wild card race. The Cubbies right now are actually in the wild card. We'll definitely dive into that a little more in a minute. I mean, hot ham. Nose stopped up, throat stopped up. Need a damn immune system booster. Talking about a booster shot, not a booster shot. Booster. Ginger, cayenne, turmeric, you know, the good stuff. Phillies walk it off against the Pirates last night to claim their spot in the wild card spot. Again, the Brewers lost 3 in a row, 5-5 over their last 10. It just happens. The Cubbies lost and gave them the division. We'll dive into wild card talk in a second. Also have probably the worst slate of college football bets you'll ever see or hear. Like nothing. Let me say that one more time. This weekend, I like nothing. Now that I'm older, too, I'm 32. Getting up there in age. It's my 14th or 15th season gambling. I think on weekends where I like nothing, I'm going to start betting nothing. It's tough to do. Because you always end up liking something. But I'll definitely give out the 5 college football bets that I guess I like the most. And why? This is Captain by a Hook, baby, with the red beard, presented by Stare Down Sports. StareDownSports.com for all of the written content myself and Jaden Chandler Parnell produce. I'm Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dives, going live, baby. It is the 27th of September. Again, Lil Wayne's birthday. Shout out. Young Money. It is a beautiful day from what I see so far. Running a little late as far as schedule goes, about an hour behind bringing you the show. The good news is the show comes at you live whenever I bring it to you. And I've only missed one day that wasn't planned over the last year and a half. It's episode 213, I think. 213, baby. 213 episodes of winning, baby. Shout out to the damn Reds last night. Let's see what the hell happened last night in this Major League Baseball. Diamondbacks. I told you Urana's my favorite pitcher to fade. The Diamondbacks slap a 15 on them. 15-4. Diamondbacks get the victory over the White Sox. Still holding steady. They are now 7-3 over their last 10. The White Sox are, and they have a 1-game lead over the Cubbies, 1.5-game lead over the Marlins, and a 2.5-game lead over the Redlegs. I think, man, I don't know. I'll break down the damn wild card in a second. How I'm looking at it. Dodgers, Rockies, they split a doubleheader in Colorado. As I just mentioned, the Redlegs 11-7 over the Guardians. Man, I talked yesterday on the show how I love the over. The over might be my favorite bet. Slap the over 7 at good number 11-7. Over hits easily. I think it was 4-3 in the third. I knew the over was hit. Also, plus 162. I talked about it yesterday. I took the Reds on the run line and the over. Beautiful. A beautiful day. That was actually the only bets I took. Um, I know you're saying that sounds convenient because the other bets you said you liked lost. It is convenient. Glad I didn't take them. Sorry if you did. Rangers end up losing badly to the Angels. And at the same time, the Rangers lose to the Angels. The Mariners, behind George Kirby, a dominant performance. Mariners beat the Astros. Now those three teams get a little tighter. A little tighter. I will touch on that division race in a momento. Marlins Mets gets postponed. The Padres beat the Giants 4-0. Padres and the Giants now 4.5 games back. Both teams one game. That means one loss from elimination. Cardinals, Brewers. Like I said, Brewers lost 3 in a row. They lost last night. Still clinched the division because, now hear this out. This is the crazy one. The Cubbies blow a 6-1 lead. 5-0 lead. 6-0 lead. Isn't that hilarious? Cubs blow a 6-0 lead to the Atlanta Braves to get eliminated from the playoffs. Twins handle business against the Athletics, who still have not reached the 50-win mark. I'm hoping they get it. Hope they can get 2 wins over the next 4 or 5 days. Every team's over 50, man. You gotta get there. You just gotta. You just gotta. And this is the difference in baseball. The Athletics and Cardinals, as bad as the Cardinals has been, you would say the Cardinals are a very better team. Cardinals only have 21 wins more than the Athletics. 21 less losses. And then the Cardinals only have 11 less losses than the Yankees, who beat the Blue Jays last night 2-0. Rays also topple the Red Sox 9-7, staying within the race of the Orioles, who win a game. Now that's baseball. Score of 1-0. Royals, Tigers, who gives a damn? Tigers win at home 6-3. Pirates, Phillies walk it off to clinch a wild card spot. Exciting. I play in a rec league, basketball league, every Tuesday night. Came home, perfect time. Caught the 9th inning of the Reds Guardians game. And then I was able to catch all the late 8:30 and 9 o'clock starts. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. I just want you to know. Some nice pitching matchups today, man. Some nice pitching matchups. Get to see Cole on the mound for probably the last time this year. It's actually weird when you say that. I've seen Cole in the playoffs at least the last 5, 6, 7 years. Through his days with the Astros. I think the Rangers get back on track tonight. I like them. I love them. Valdez, the ace on the mound for the Stros. Whoever loses tonight, Padres Giants are eliminated officially Brewers throwing the lefty. Wade Miley on the mound. The Reds throwing Abbott out there. Probably wants to go back to the well on the Reds, but I don't think I'm going to bet any baseball tonight. Don't see any reason to. Postseason. Nothing has changed over 24 hours. Bracket still looking the same. Man, the more I look at it, are the Orioles in the best position to win the damn World Series? At least get there. They're gonna get the Blue Jays or the Rays if it stands right now in their first round, the ALDS. They've seen these teams all year. They've beaten these teams all year. And then they get past them, and my bet would be Astros or Rangers they got to run into. I've been waiting all season for the Astros to become the dominant Astros of the last few years. It just doesn't seem like they have the fire or the edge in them this season, which scares me because this is when you need it most, baby. You're about to run into some playoff teams who are hungry, teams who have not been here in a while, teams who have not won a ring last year, much less 2 in the last 5. It just feels like this Astros team is getting complacent with their greatness. Could be wrong. But man, if the Orioles bats show up, they're in a great spot. I think the Cubs, not the Cubs. I think the Dodgers. I think Orioles have the easiest team to make it to the ALCS. I think the Rangers, of course, they got to go up against the Astros, or vice versa. Astros might win the series. Rangers got to go through the wild card and the Astros. But dealing with the Astros, man, cross-state rivalry, never easy. Never easy. Braves, they'll have to deal with a weird Diamondbacks team or a hot, familiar face in the Phillies. Definitely not going to be easy. And then I think no matter who plays the Dodgers, whether it's the Brewers or the Cubs, they're going to throw some monkey wrenches in there. I think the Cubs have the best shot of upsetting the Dodgers. I think the Brewers get swept. Like, I can see the Brewers literally, not scoring the whole series against the Cubs. Like, just not scoring at all. Nope. No, buddy. No scoring here, buddy. No, buddy. We do know, buddy. We do not know how to score over here, buddy. Anyway, wild card, baby. Kind of touched on it a little earlier. Gonna just touch on it again. Now, let me look at this division real quick, just to give you what I give you. All right, again, Rays 2.5 games behind the Orioles. Only 6 games left now? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5 or 6 games left for these teams. Oh, we're in the thick of it, baby. The thick of it, baby. Yeah. I think the Orioles hold on, man. Just with the schedule involved. AL West, Texas, the Rangers. I think they get back on track tonight and get the victory over the Angels. Rangers, I think, get the victory tonight. I think Houston also beats the Mariners, just based on the pitching matchup of the starters. Anything can happen, of course. But I think after tonight, right now, currently, Rangers up 2.5 over the Astros and 3 games over Seattle. This is the division. I will talk wild card in a second. I think after tonight, Rangers, Astros put a little gap in the Mariners. You're going to have Rangers in the lead, Astros 2.5 back, and the Mariners 4 games back. But anything can happen. Rangers could lose, Astros win. That'll put the Astros 1.5 back from the Rangers, and Mariners will still be 3 games back from the Rangers. So anything can happen. It's gonna be a blast watching this last weekend with these 3 teams specifically. All the other divisions are pretty clinched. Jump over to these wild card standings, wild card talks. American League wild card, Tampa Bay Rays clinched, 10-game lead right now. You got Toronto with a 1.5-game lead on the Astros, who are holding on to that last spot by the holding on to the last spot by the hair on my chinny chin chin. Astros 1/2-game lead over the Mariners for the wild card spot. It's crazy to think Mariners won last night. If they win tonight, they will jump the Astros momentarily for playoff position. It's also crazy to think. Say that happens. Mariners win tonight, beat the Astros. Boom. That flips. Mariners are in position. What if the Astros don't get to make the playoffs this year? Like, that'll be absolutely nuts to me. Let me see who they got. Excuse me. After they play the Mariners tonight, tomorrow they start a series. Well, they get tomorrow off, and then they start a series Friday with the Diamondbacks. That'd be bananas if the Diamondbacks sweep them. And the Astros never make the playoffs this year. Like, it just hit me that's a possibility. Don't know why it's hitting me now. Let's see who Seattle has after they play the Astros. Oh, I don't give a F about Fan Appreciation Week, man. Oh my goodness. I will say this. Mariners have the hardest road. Mariners play the Rangers next. That is bananas to me. Close the season out with 4 games against the Rangers after playing the Astros. So, I mean, I hate to say it. Mariners probably need to win this game tonight, and they're going to need to take 2 or 3 from the Rangers. But that's the thing. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do math. I'm on the edge of my seat right now talking about this race. Okay, so Seattle's 3 games back. They win tonight. Let's just say Seattle wins, Rangers win. Both teams win tonight. So they'll still be 3 games back, but they'll have jumped Houston. Houston would be 3.5 back. And then they win 3 from the... They could take this division still, man. Say the Mariners go crazy. They win tonight and then take 3 from the Rangers. They'll be your division champions. These 3 teams, man, they're going to go into the playoffs ready because they are already playing playoff baseball, if you know what I mean. Every game matters for the rest of this week and the days prior to this week. Like the last 10 days to now and then through the next weekend, this shit matters. I'm sorry, though. I'm getting lost in the sauce. Let me get back to the wild card. Haven't even gotten to National League. Still got to do the college football. Yeesh. Running late. That's crazy, man. I'll touch on it tomorrow. We'll see what happens tonight with the Mariners and the Astros. Boy, exciting stuff here. You got the Diamondbacks, as I mentioned. They have a game lead over the Cubbies, who are holding on to the last spot by a 1/2 game. The Marlins actually got canceled yesterday, so they will play 2 games today against the New York Metropolitans. So a half game back, they got 2 games. Let's say they win both. The Cubbies lose. Not only do they steal the Cubs spot, but they can gain a game on them today. And then you got the Reds, who are a game and a half back from the Cubs, 1 game back from the Marlins. Man, everybody is right in Cincinnati and Chicago has to be rooting for the Mets to sweep this doubleheader today. How about the Diamondbacks? -7 in run differential. -7 in run differential. This is the 2 weirdest stats of the season, and then I'm gonna get over to college football. One of the worst teams in baseball, the Padres, who we can all agree on is one of the worst teams in baseball. 78-80 is their record. They are 4.5 games out of the playoffs, 1 loss away from being eliminated. One of the worst teams, not worst teams, one of the most disappointed teams in the season. Their run differential is +94. And you look at a team like the Diamondbacks, who only, to their credit, have 5 more wins. That's the difference between this race and this league and this sport of baseball. Those games matter in May and June and April. They matter. You don't think the games matter till July, August, you end up like the damn Padres. That's what it looked like happened to them this year. They just, well, we good, man. We getting money, man. We good. Getting money, man. And then they look up 4.5 games back. A team like the Diamondbacks in your own division, who only has 5 more wins than you, is in a drastically better position. But when you look at run differential, this is the part that's freaky. Padres +94, Diamondbacks -7. Just to put some more perspective on this as quickly as I can, out of all of the playoffs teams in both sides, +128, +165, +110, +191, +74, +115, and then the Mariners, who's a half a game back, +99. The National League, you got +231, +204, +76, +81, +100. And then the Diamondbacks, the only team out of the 12 teams I just named, -7 in run differential. If the Diamondbacks make any noise in this playoffs, they'll be one of the most bloopy, historic teams to do some crazy like this. The other crazy stuff is if you're going anything off of run differential, you got the Miami Marlins and the Cincinnati Redlegs. Really the only 2 teams I think have a chance to steal a spot from the Cubs or the Diamondbacks. Both of them around -50, let's just say, run differential. You got -51 for the Marlins, -44 for the Reds. So, I don't know what that means, but I think it means the Arizona Diamondbacks are an anomaly and the Cubs hold on to this last playoff spot. But I could be wrong. Cubs 4-6 over the last 10 don't look like they want it, man. Especially after failing to win a game you were up 6-0 in just 12 hours ago. All right. I'm going to be honest with y'all. This is the weakest. Weakest college basketball. College basketball, by the way, 40 days away. I can't even keep a straight face. I'm just geeked. College basketball, 40 days away, man. Ooh-wee. He geeked up. All right, check this out. How good is Kentucky? I asked that question last week, and they answered me. I didn't bet it, but they answered me. They won dominantly, and they covered easily. So how good is Kentucky? They've covered all 4 of their games. They've won all 4 of their games. Kentucky, huh? How good is Kentucky? Well, the Bluegrass. I was about to say the Bluegrass Miracle, which is a. Look it up if you want. Look it up if you want. Devery Henderson, LSU baby, Bluegrass Miracle. One of the favorite moments I've ever got to experience as a football fan. It's top 2 or 3 in football experiences. Watching live, definitely top 2 or 3. Man, you know, you never really realize the moments when you're in them. You miss out on so much in life that means the most. Chasing things that mean nothing. I'd give a lot to watch another Tigers or Saints game with my pops. But how good is Kentucky? The Bluegrass Miracle, huh? Devery Henderson. How good is Kentucky? Kentucky takes on Florida this Saturday at home. Kentucky's at home. Kentucky is only favored 1.5 right here. Money line minus 121. The total set at 44 and a hook. I love Kentucky minus 1.5. I love Kentucky on the money line. Not a big believer in Florida. I know they're ranked 22nd in the nation. I think a lot of that has to do with their victory last week. I mean, they beat the brakes off of them. I don't even remember who they played, but they beat the brakes up off them. Not last week. It was 2 weeks ago. I think last week they played somebody like Akron or something. I don't remember. Florida overrated. It was Tennessee they slapped around a few weeks ago. Tucky minus 1.5 at home. Man, how good is Kentucky? I keep asking that question. I'll probably keep asking it. I think they're good enough to beat Florida at home and win outright. I'm on the money line. You can take the 1.5 if you want, but I don't mind dropping juice around 120. It's 122 right now on the money line for Kentucky. Perfect. Give me Kentucky on the money line, baby. Find out how good they are taking on a Florida team who is not supposed to be good at all, but playing over their projections. Phone blowing up like you thought it would. You can call the crib. It's the same number in the same hood. Oh, and don't forget, it is all good. Let me run through these numbers a little quicker. Georgia hasn't played anybody. Don't have anybody on the schedule to play. Georgia. I ain't mad at what you did last year. I ain't mad at you going back to back. Hell, actually, shout out to y'all for being able to go back to back. But after going back to back and being back to back champs, instead of coming out your third year and proving that you're the biggest, baddest, best team in the damn nation, you come out like cowards. Schedule one of the weakest schedules I've ever seen. One of the weakest schedules I've ever seen. I think it comes back to bite you. If not this weekend, it'll come back to bite you in the SEC championship game. I think it'll come back to bite you in a weird way later in the season when you play a team like Kentucky. How good is Kentucky? I think it comes back to bite you this week as well. Now, I think you get the victory. I think you win this ball game. But I don't think you win it by margin. Give me the Auburn Tigers. Plus 14 and a hook. Love it. Give me Auburn plus 14 and a hook at home, taking on Georgia. Georgia ain't played nobody since the damn, I can't even say the championship game. TCU wasn't nobody. Georgia ain't played nobody since Michigan, bro. What was that? 5-6 months ago? I don't think this Georgia team's ready for the type of football they're about to play this weekend. They've been playing pardon my French, pansies up to this point. Give me Auburn to cover the points against Georgia, who I think wins this game by about 7-10 and gets a huge wake-up call. And then they talk in the post-conference about how we're going to need to do better. We're going to need to show up ready. We're going to need to put more emphasis on the fundamentals. Then they're going to show up next week against bum F anybody. They don't play nobody. Win by 30, and everybody's going to be happy again. I'm going to fade Georgia as much as I can this season, and spots like this are what I'm talking about. I'm going to take the plus points on any team that's tough against Georgia because they don't play any team that's tough. So I'm really talking about Auburn, Kentucky, and whoever they play in the damn championship game for SEC, whether it's the Tigers or Bama. So give me Auburn plus 14.5 and give me Kentucky on the money line. Michigan going on the road taking on Nebraska. Michigan wins this game by 30. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it sweet. And Nebraska has been one of the worst teams this season. I'm surprised the spread's only 17. I have Rutgers as a way better team than Nebraska, and that spread was 24 and the hook, which cashed in by a hook, if you will. Rutgers plus 24 bangs. I think Nebraska should be plus 30 if Rutgers was plus 24. However, they're plus 17. Something's fishy. Something's wrong. I think the books are wrong, and I'm going to bet against them. Give me Michigan minus 17.5 in a game I think covers easy peasy Japanesey. Their first game with Jim Harbaugh was last week. I had a feeling they would come out and not stale. Just I felt like they'd come out tense. Like, ooh, coach is back. Let's just try our hardest. End up forcing things, pressuring things instead of letting it come to them. I think this game they come out a lot more relaxed. I think the defense causes a lot more turnovers because Nebraska stinks. I think we're getting picks all day, fumbles all day. Michigan runs away with this game in dominant fashion. If I had to choose a number, the number I have is close to damn 30. 44-10. Michigan slaps that all on the floor. So I'm going Kentucky on the money line. Auburn plus 14 in the hook taking on Georgia. Michigan minus 17 in the hook taking on Nebraska. Last two games. This next one, I'm just gonna bite the dirt on this one. First week of the season, week 0, as they call it, took Texas State on the money line plus 1280. I looked the next day, it was plus 1600, and I said, hell, I might as well double down on this thing and make it even a little more sweeter. So I hit the money line at plus 12. I hit the money line at plus 1600, which means I won enough money on just that one game to survive the rest of the season. So what have I done every week since then? I have bet the Texas State and lost. Can you believe that? I've bet Texas State over and Texas State numbers and lost every week since then. Last week specifically, they don't score at all in the first half. Come out, put up goddamn 49 points in the second half. Still don't cover the over or the 17 in the hook. I said, ain't that some shit? This week I look at it, I said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I did it. Give me Texas State minus 5.5. Give me Texas State over 62 in a hook taking on Southern Mississippi. Them Southern Mississippi boys better come to play. I'm going to be on Texas State for the 5th time in a row. Texas State minus 5.5. Texas State, Southern Mississippi over 62 in the hook. I ain't going to lie to you. They could burn me for 2 seasons straight and I'll still be plus money on them. So I ain't tripping. I'm not tripping at all on them losing. But they lose this one, I might stop the banter. Stop the vandalism. Stop going back to the wall. But I'm on Texas State minus 5.5. Texas State over 62.5. The last bet I have for you guys tonight is the only bet that I didn't write the opponent down. Ain't that some bougie BS? But when you talk about the SEC, I remember who they play now. Don't even have to look at it. Don't even have to look at it. Also, just real quick, Notre Dame minus 5.5 against Duke. Too big. Number is too big. Thinking heavily about taking Duke plus the points. Here we go. Alabama on the road taking on Mississippi State. Mississippi Pimp. Mississippi State, man, awful team. Faded them last week against South Carolina, minus 6.5. Carolina wins by 10. Week before that, faded them by taking the Tigers of LSU, minus 9.5. LSU wins, I think, 41-14. So I'm just going to keep this cycle going and probably fade Mississippi State every single goddamn game the rest of the year. And would you look at that? They play Alabama this weekend, and they're only dogs by 14.5. If LSU minus 9.5, Bama's only 14.5. Although I do think LSU is a better team than Alabama. Alabama is bigger, burlier, and that's what they're going to do, bro. They're going to run the ball down this damn Mississippi State throat. I think this game gets out of hand early. Alabama's defense, shown last week against Ole Miss, it can win a game by its damn self. Give me Alabama minus 14.5. Probably my best bet of the damn weekend. Franklin Earl, Beard Winnington. Put his stamp of approval on it. Give me Alabama minus 14.5. I think they win this game by closer to 30 than 20. Just to recap college football plays for this weekend. Again, don't like nothing on this paper. Give me Tucky on the money line. That's Kentucky on the money line. Give me Auburn plus 14.5, taking on the softest schedule in the league. Michigan minus 17.5 against Nebraska. Going back to the well. Texas State on the spread minus 5.5. Texas State, Southern Mississippi over 62.5, and then give me Alabama minus 14.5, taking on Mississippi State. Love it, man. A lot of SEC football in this thing. Anyway, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. That's why I do it, baby. This is Captain By a Hook with the Red Beard, presented by Stare Down Sports. I am Rowan Donaghy, a.k.a. Rowan Dives. Going live 27th of September. Please take all wagers at your own risk, and please gamble responsibly. You know what it is. Dives.